If there's anything that I've learned over the last 11 years of working with children and working with parents and behaviors and within family dynamics and neuroscience and child behavior and child development and child psychology and adult psychology, if I've learned anything over these 11 years, it's often that we are only scratching the surface when it comes to wanting to create change in ourselves or in those around us. We're really only scratching the surface. I've been involved in many programs over the years, and I can honestly say that a lot of them are quite superficial. And it then leads to a whole array of disappointment and feelings of failure and feelings of overwhelm because we just aren't seeing the results that we want either within ourselves or within the children that you have. So I am certainly a woman who likes to dig deep, and I like to get to the core of the issues, the reasons that we behave the way that we do, that you interact with the children that you have the way that you do, the reasons why your children are doing or behaving the way that they do. I am a why woman. I dig and I dig and I dig, and I'm going to be sharing some of those approaches, the approaches that I found to be the most effective, but simple. And that's really the key. So when we've got this parent burnout, when we've got any sense of overwhelm at all in your homes, quite often we've exited the simple path and we've entered complex. We've entered complex because our emotions tend to take over. As a mum, as a dad, you watching, you are emotional beings when it comes to your children. There's nothing wrong or right about that. That's just the way that it goes. But it often takes us out of simplicity. And this can happen with any relationship. So you're in the right place with me this morning. For those of you watching with me and those of you watching the recording, if you want more harmony in your home without the burnout, imagine if you did have more energy. Imagine if your child could settle and calm far quicker than they are right now, regardless of their age. Imagine if it did feel more fun and playful. And imagine if you had more time for yourself. Imagine if that was possible. And it is possible with what I'll be going. Meltdown madness. Now, you might be thinking, I'm calling it meltdown madness because it looks like madness when a child is experiencing it. On the contrary, I'm not calling it that for that reason at all. I'm actually calling it meltdown madness because the world has gone mad over meltdowns. The world has gone mad. And what I mean by this is somewhere along the way, and this happens with any concept, any word that gets used a lot in whatever system that you enjoy or that you use. So it could be, the allied health practitioners, it could be the doctors, it could be the psychiatrists, it could be a nutritionist, it could be a psychologist, whatever person that you see around your children's behaviors or you listen to podcasts. The meaning gets lost along the way. And there are many reasons for this, but the thing is that it's creating a whole range of complex issues within families and within our world at the moment. So what this has led to are many myths around what meltdowns are and what they're not, what they're designed to do and provide for the child. Imagine a meltdown actually providing something. That's an interesting thought, isn't it? Have you thought about that? Have you also thought that maybe meltdowns are required for future success with how we are as an adult? Meltdowns are required. That's interesting. Whoever tells you that? Not many people. This is where the world has gone mad. We have absolutely forgotten what is going on with the brain and the body in those years of childhood, in those early years, to make meltdowns absolutely necessary. Now, I'm not saying that they need to be as frequent and they need to last as long. They actually don't. And I will be giving you the most successful formula to have them less frequent and happen less and be less extreme. That's the simple part. The complicated part is understanding that they're necessary and not having everybody else around you tell you that they're wrong. They're not wrong. I have a social worker background, so it feels like a lifetime ago now. However, you know, when I was writing reports on children, okay, the key word we would use all of the time: self-regulation, struggles with self-regulation, constant tantrums, meltdowns, struggles to self-regulate, needs support to self-regulate, needs interventions to self-regulate and to learn how to self-regulate, needs support, it's wrong, basically, is what we were saying constantly. Now, what did that lead to? It basically led to us foregoing any responsibility or desire to dig deeper into why these meltdowns are happening. It's in the report. Now we get to palm it off to somebody else and they get to try and help this child self-regulate. It's not a good approach. And for parents, usually what I see and what they come to me with is that they've been told this by practitioners, health practitioners, doctors, whoever it is. Struggles to self-regulate. Your child needs support to self-regulate. Go and see a practitioner. Long-term, this is not effective. It's not effective. There is a much more effective process that I'll share with you in a second. And first, we need to cut the myth. Meltdowns are required, and I'll share with you now why. So we can either focus on the behavior, which is surface level, or we can tend to the child. Now, this is interesting because I have parents that share with me, well, I'm always tending to my child. I'm always supporting my child. However, if their sentences prior have been only around the behaviors, this is not the case, because children are not their behaviors at all. These are brief moments of emotion that rise to pass away. That's what the nervous system requires, and that's what their brain requires. This can be a big alteration in how we see things. Parents come to me and they've tried all of these approaches, all of these different modalities, or we've got OTs, we've got speechies, we've got doctors, we've got psychologists, we've got, who else do we have? OTs, we've got a whole range. Now, when they are focusing on the behaviors, again, that's short term. And long term, it's quite detrimental. Parents often discount their ability to provide everything that their child requires to learn how to self-regulate, to manage their emotions successfully. You actually have all of the power. The OT doesn't have the power. The speechy doesn't have the power. The psychologist doesn't have the power. I haven't met any adult that saw all of those practitioners when they were young and saying to me, oh, it was just great, the OT understood me. No, often it's, I just wish my parents could understood me a little bit more. That's all. And there's some really simple ways that we can do that, so everybody wins. So in the most basic sense, when we're thinking about meltdowns, you know, we're often thinking the opposite side is, well, I'd really love it if my child could self-regulate a little more. Okay, that's often a goal. That's often a goal. And we often get worried that they just won't learn. I promise you, they are learning and they will learn. So what does self-regulation actually even mean? So in the most basic sense, it means controlling one's behavior. Interesting that we've got the word controlling there. And this is out of the dictionary. Emotions and thoughts in the pursuit of long-term goals. I just want you to sit with that for a second and apply this to a child, your young person, your teen. This includes teens too. More specifically, emotional regulation refers to the ability to manage disruptive emotions and impulses. Now, I can tell you right now that if this is the definition we are using, which we are as a health profession, as they are, Children do not have access to long-term planning. None. They are in the moment, completely in the moment, based on where they are at in their brain development. Okay, interesting. So why do we put all of this pressure on self-regulation and the needing to control emotions? Well, I wonder what that could be for you, who you've been listening to, what it has you believe and think about yourself or your child potentially. I wonder what that could be. So children are the most present little human beings that you can have. Now, this is because they are living in the limbic system. This is the emotion center. Emotion center, interesting. Tantrums, meltdowns, they're functioning from the emotion center. Interesting. So meltdowns are normal. That's interesting, but nobody says that. Interesting. I find this interesting. That's one of my favorite words. So what is the reality around meltdowns? What's the reality? How can we shift what we see and what we think about meltdowns so that you feel like you're succeeding, you feel like your child is completely normal and okay, which they are, and your child can actually feel more understood by you, which is all they're seeking every minute of every day, and especially during a meltdown. So they can feel more understood, so they are not as long, they're not as frequent. And the consequence of that is they're learning to self-regulate. Now, what happens is when let's just say that this is the bar of a meltdown, okay? It's skyrocketing, okay? We're escalating. We're climbing up the meltdown ladder here. Now, let's just say that I am here. This is Parentville, all right? And I'm here and I want to chop it off right here. Cut it down. No. This is bad. This shouldn't happen. I should be preventing this. Stop it. Think differently. This is not such a big deal. This doesn't need to happen. You don't need to feel angry. Angry is not good. Don't feel sad. Don't cry. Whatever it is for you. And it's interesting then to reflect back onto what you listened to as well as a child. But if I'm here and I'm blocking this, see this underneath here? This is still boiling. This is not going anywhere. This is bubbling and it's pushing you, okay? It's pushing you as the parent to still want to erupt, to still want to express itself and be seen by you. So then now we've got a battle on our hands. So what happens then if we just get to express? The child goes up and up and up, reaches here, you're here, by their side, done. There's nowhere to go. There's no pressure stopping it right now. No pressure. So they don't need to force it higher. This is often what's happening. They need to force it higher and more extreme to be seen in the meltdown. I'd write that down. They often feel like they need to force and have their meltdown more extreme to be seen in the meltdown, in the discomfort of being so sad as a child. It's a scary place for a child. So a fun fact for you is that our brain doesn't finish developing until the age of 26 on average. And yet, 5-year-olds are being told, regulate. Too many meltdowns, little one. This is not okay. And I also ask, who as an adult has a handle on the meltdowns themselves? I certainly could not put my hand up to that. I still get overwhelmed by emotions sometimes. Big emotions and meltdowns are absolutely required for future success. Now, the reason being for this, let's just say that we are 3 years old and we start experiencing sadness, which it's before, I know that, but we're just saying an example. We are learning all of the time. We're also learning how to process sadness at a 2 at a 3-year-old, all ages, but let's just say 2 and 3. We're learning how to do that. Now, unconsciously, all of these neurons are making pathways in the brain. All of them. In the beginning, they're like soft little string pathways, soft little string. They still have the ability to detach and then forget about how they've been taught to manage their meltdowns. So we do this by, well, how's my parent responding to me? Do they welcome it? Do they support me through it? Do they allow me to feel it and just be with it so that I can manage it? I know it's disappearing. So these little brain pathways are always learning and forming. But the thing is, without repetition, they stay like string. They don't become concrete highways. And it's the concrete highways of the healthy reaction to emotions that we want for our children. This is how we set them up for success in their adulthood. And because there isn't much access to the frontal cortex, which is at the front right here, this is where we understand consequences. This is where we understand somebody else's perspective, which children are not very good at. And we should not expect them to, because then everyone fails. This is where the language center is. So that's why you'll see screaming or hear screaming and yelling and throwing, because the language just isn't there in that moment to describe what they're going through. Of course, you guide them and you teach them, but to expect it, everyone is set up for failure, not success. So children have that emotional brain. So whatever's going on in their world, they're reacting with emotion. Full stop. Full stop. And having a meltdown is actually a gift. It's an actual gift. So childhood, if you can think of it like a training ground, and I'd write that down, childhood is a training ground. Because we're setting up those concrete pathways of success. How do you want your child to react to big emotions, uncertainty, fear, guilt, shame? How do you want them to respond to these emotions and thoughts when they're an adult? It's all being set up now, depending on how much freedom you provide and how you react to it yourself and how you react to your own big emotions too. Let's not forget that. So it's actually, having a meltdown is a gift, and you get to provide that safe training ground for them to learn. So I remember I had a client and she had two girls. Now this mum, I'll keep her nameless, but this mum had a real issue. Once we got to dig deeper and deeper, she had a real problem with crying herself and feeling sad and sharing emotions and being emotional. Now, of course, what this meant then is that she was very uncomfortable and actually hated when she saw these same emotions or experiences in her girls. Absolutely hated it. She would do this constantly. No, 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 no. Definitely not. Go to your room. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see it. Stop crying. Stop being an idiot. Whatever the sentences were. Now, when we went through this, when we got to alter the perspective and say that they're actually required, and we got to help mum feel comfortable with her own crying, which was her task for the week, was to cry as often as she could. What she got to see then was girls that didn't need to show emotion as often as they used to, because they got to get it out. It wasn't this bubbling volcano that was constantly there and not being seen. What is it then that we can do? What's the path to success here for everybody? So everybody wins. We stop parenting the behavior and we begin parenting the nervous system. So this creates connection and understanding. Only then will your child learn to self-regulate. So this is how we create success for everybody in the home. This is for the adults too. We actually need to tend to the nervous system instead of the behavior. And how do we do this? So this is how we begin. This is the beginning steps that we do. And write these down. No matter the age, the first step is to reduce words. Why? Well, our nervous system is running on emotion in those moments completely. So that's why it feels a little bit like madness for your child or for you in those moments. This is how we support children to learn the healthy pathways. So reduce words. What this does for your child is that it means they can stay present with what they're feeling in their bodies and not trying to push them into this logical space of their brain, which they just don't have access to. When we're using logic to children during these moments, when we're trying to appeal to their greater selves and their kind little nature that you see 80% of the time, we're trying to get them out of that emotional center of the brain and into the logical part, which just isn't there. And what happens when we do this? The frustration and the meltdown rises. So for an adult, I don't know if you've had a scenario with your husband or your partner or your wife where you are feeling completely emotional and you just want to express it to somebody. You just need to get it all out. And then the other person comes to you, and this goes into point number 2 as well. And they're trying to appeal to your logical sense. Yeah, but that's pretty normal because of this, this, and this. Remember, we learned at the course that this, and remember that you should know this because of what you do for a living. And remember, we read in that book, and remember that, the data says this, and you really, let's try and see it from a different perspective. In that heightened moment, this only creates more frustration and it will go for longer. It doesn't need to be logical. Forget trying to find logic in a meltdown for child or adult. Forget trying to find logic. It's not there. It never will be there. Never expect logic. This will save you so much energy. This is where burnout can stem from as well. You start to see where all of your energy is going as a parent, where it's just not needed, and all of your words are not needed. Your presence is, your loving nonverbal body language is required, not too many words. So reduce words. No persuasion. Do not persuade your child, regardless of their age, to see something different, to do something different, to feel something different. This is a big one. Their anger in the moment is perfectly fine. Their happiness in the moment, perfectly fine. Their sadness in the moment, perfectly fine. Depending on their age, save those conversations for after those meltdown moments. And put your curiosity lens on. So this means getting curious instead of judgmental. And quite often, because you wonderful parents are with your children day in, day out, and you often feel like this is a repeating pattern, we tend to have the judgment lens on, the lens that we just know what is already going to happen. And this tends to stop anything new from happening from your child. This is where we can pop the curiosity lens on. And when the curiosity lens doesn't work with your words, maybe it's, oh, okay, tell me a bit more about why that had you feeling really angry. Curious. So when the curious questions don't work, we revert back to no words and we just sit there and we just be. And then they will start talking when they want to. You could ask, did you want to chat with me about it? Totally up to you. That could be your curious question. Maybe we save the conversations that require a little bit of logic a few hours later, if at all. We don't need to talk about every meltdown. That would send you cuckoo. We're done for the day. Thank you for being here. Bye for now, everyone.